Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Law Talks. Our topic for today is contract. Contract. Now what is a contract? The things which we do in our daily lives, knowingly or unknowingly, involves a part of contract. Whether it's buying of mobile phones through online stores or through physical stores, or ordering food through e-commerce channels, everything involves contract. Even booking a cab through Ola or Uber involves a contract. So, we are so much into this contract thing that we should get to know about the essentials of a contract. What makes a contract valid? Who are the people who can enter into a contract? How can it be enforced? These are some things which are to be known, which should be known by everybody and not just lawyers or the people from legal background. It is a thing to be known by everyone. Let's move towards the essentials of a contract. The essentials form the basic structure of a valid contract. Now, what are the essentials? The first essential is the offer or proposal, which is very well defined in Section 2A of Indian Contract Act. An offer is something, let me give you an example of this. Supposedly, I have a property which I want to sell. Now, my offer can be general or specific. If I just give a call to my friend and ask him that do you want to buy my property at such price? I'm willing to sell it. And if you want to buy it, just let me know in a day or two. Then it is a specific offer to my friend. Now the other scenario is that I take some pictures of my property and just upload it on the sites which are into this business. Then it is a general offer to the general public. Anyone who is interested may see the details and particulars of my property on the site and may approach me accepting my offer. That is a general offer. Now the second most crucial part of a contract is the acceptance of the offer. Let's move towards it. Acceptance of the offer made by the offerer forms a very crucial part of a valid contract. Now the offer is made to you. You need to accept it. Under Section 2B of the Indian Contract Act, the acceptance is defined. Now acceptance can be of two types, which is very well defined in Section 9 of the Indian Contract Act. It can be expressed or it can be implied. What is an expressed acceptance? I accepted the offer made by my friend of selling that property. Now I should communicate my acceptance to him. So what I do is I just give him a call and I tell him that yes, I want to buy your property. I accept your offer of this much amount. I'm willing to buy it and purchase it. This is an expressed acceptance of the offer. Now let us come to the implied acceptance. Implied acceptance is something which is not expressed but is very much implied from the conduct of the person accepting the offer. It can be understood from this example that in the former case, when I gave a call to my friend and told him about my acceptance of the offer, in the latter case what I will do is I will just send him the money. That is, I very well accept the offer he made and I am willing to buy his property and I sent him the token money of that property. That is my implied act of acceptance of his offer. Now the acceptance is very crucial and the major phenomena behind the acceptance is the proper communication channel. The acceptance should be communicated to the offerer. It cannot be that without the communication the acceptance is complete. The offerer should get to know that yes, my offer has been accepted by the other party. In any terms, whether it can be implied, whether it can be expressed, but the communication should be complete. Now for an acceptance to be valid, it is very much essential for both the parties to understand the terms of the contract in the same sense. And there should be free consent to the acceptance. That is, the consent should not include any material of fraud or misrepresentation or coercion, undue influence or a mistake. Any acceptance given to any of the agreement under these circumstances, that is forcefully or fraudulently or misrepresented the facts or the terms of the agreement or by mistake or under undue influence, is said to be an void agreement. Now let us move towards the third part of a valid agreement or a contract. Once an offer is made and is accepted by the other party, it forms an agreement, but not a valid contract, unless and until all the other ingredients are satisfied. Now the third most important ingredient in any valid contract is the consideration part. Section 2D of the Indian Contract Act defines the consideration. It is the willingness to perform an act in pursuance of the offer and the acceptance, that is the agreement. A consideration can be in monetary terms or it can be through goods or services as well. But it should be legal and not an illegal one. It cannot be said that in pursuance of something or in pursuance of buying the property, I will just supply you this much tons of RDX or marijuana, which is very much illegal by the law. So the part of the consideration should be legal. Fourth most important point of a valid contract is the intention. Intention should be legal. It is defined in section 24 of the Indian Contract Act. Now what is a legal intention? A legal intention in a contract is the basic subject of the contract. That is, the subject of contract should be legal. Like I just gave an example of a property. It is a legal thing. But I cannot enter into a contract with anyone regarding an illegal subject matter which is prohibited by the law. I entered into a contract with a person in order to supply him certain amount of articles which were prohibited by law, which were illegal. Now, even if all the ingredients of a valid contract are satisfied between us, but the contract will be void ab initio, that is, void at the very initial stage. Reason being, the subject matter of the contract was illegal. In order to make a valid agreement, the contents of the agreement should be certain, that is the subject matter. Let us take an example of it. I was very much willing to sell a horse to my friend, but I didn't tell him the exact price, and I just said that I will sell you my horse at rupees 500 or rupees 1000. Now the terms are very much uncertain because I didn't specify the price at which I was going to sell it. The agreement is void, being uncertain. Second example could be, I was willing to sell a certain amount of oil to my friend, but I didn't specify as to what was the oil made of. Thus, it is an uncertain agreement, as it did not specify the type of oil. Thus, being uncertain, it becomes void. I want to enter into a contract with someone, but can I do it? Am I barred by law to do it? Now, let us see section 11 of Indian Contract Act for that purpose. I can only enter into a contract if I am above 18 years of age. That is, a minor cannot enter into a contract. Second, I should not be in an intoxicated state while entering into a contract. Then the contract would be void. Thirdly, I should not be insane. That is, I should be a person of a prudent mind while entering into a contract. If these conditions are satisfied, then the contract can lead to be a valid one. Otherwise, not. I hope you have all understood the concept of a valid contract. And if you have any queries, you can just post those queries on my mail ID and I will make sure that I answer all your queries. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos on the topics of law.